Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 20, Talks Machina. Labenda awaits. I just watched the intro. I go up to the part where we see this. That is where I go up to, and then I start the reaction. So I already saw that it's Tal'dorei and Ashley. I would say they are the best of friends compared to most. Even though Yasha dips out once in a while, they've known each other longer than anybody. And it seems like they understand each other more. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Yasha or Molly even made a comment to say there's very little I don't know that she or he doesn't know. So they both know relatively the same amount about each other. I'm sure they have secrets, but they seem to be the most connected. Brian is Ashley's husband. He made a joke in the beginning about needing 41 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, and then made a joke about how they didn't have a Tootsie Pop, and it made it even better. They get silly sexual jokes going all over the place. I don't even know why we have an after hours. That's how it started. It literally started with a joke about sucking dick, basically. So I don't even know why we separate the two. But if you don't know, I separate the two because at the end of each month, we're doing 4 after hours in a row. So that's how we do it. It's, to me, a recap. I think it's better done that way. It separates it. It spaces everything out. It gives us content all over the place. So at the end of every month, if you didn't hear in the last video, we will do all the after hours of the 4 episodes of that month, which is coming up soon. We ended at episode 18, so this is the second of the month. By the time I hit 4, we'll do an after hours hour because they're roughly 15 minutes to 20 minutes each, give or take. Let's jump in. I'm curious to see what we talk about with Labenda Waits. We met Kiri. We also got to Labenda. We found for Braun, and he was sleeping with Yasha, like in the room with her. He wanted to sleep in the bed, and that's kind of how we ended it. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll only see on Patreon. I just don't have time to edit it all. Person of interest, we just started Eureka, Doctor Who, Stargate, Battlestar, so many shows. Check it out. If not, jumping in. Campaign 2, Episode 20, Talks Machina. Labenda awaits, and he called it labia. He said labia awaits.
Please, as always, consult your doctor before using Labenda.
Labenda.
Well, we have some crit roll stats for this
Brian
episode.
looks cleaned up.
In the 20th episode of Campaign 2, Yasha had her 10th rage. That's cool.
Hey,
Her
cool.
10th
In
rage.
20 episodes.
10th
the
rage
Mighty
by
Nein had their
Yasha.
20th. How do you want to do this?
Hey.
20th, how you want to do? So we've had one
You're
per
getting
episode
up
on
there.
average.
20th episode, no
On the
less.
20th episode.
And Bo used her 30th key point.
Okay.
30 key points already.
It's weird starting over, man.
It is, right?
This is,
30
Yasha
key
takes
points.
lead with 5
I feel like it's
full
not a lot.
unshared. How do you want to do this, Eyes?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Not is technically
beast.
sitting on 4.5, sharing 1 with Jester. That's not. Beacon has been said 20 times in Campaign 2.
Beacon?
Oh, Bacon, sorry.
Oh, I was
I
like,
just learned how to
Beacon.
read 2 hours
I
ago.
literally was like,
Bacon has been
what?
said 20 times in
Pocket
Campaign 2.
bacon.
Pocket Bacon has come up 7 times.
Pocket bacon.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
you think that, and then you find it, and it's just such a blessing.
It is.
Yeah.
I would be really
I feel like
excited
if you
I
were
found bacon in my
starving
pocket.
and found
Is it
pocket
also
bacon,
kind of just
you'd
I'd be
get
really
sick as
excited
shit.
if I
forever?
found my dad.
Oh, well.
That's what I feel. I feel like it's still kind of
Where
loud.
were you going to go, Taliesin?
I didn't know where to go.
I saw something
We're going right
brewing
there.
in there. And
We're
then
going
it
a solid
disappeared.
6.
started, and then my basic taste and decency.
said it
just-
red
You were
line
like,
it
I'm
said.
just going to let him hang out there
Yeah,
on that
no.
ledge.
I think my favorite part about in the last game, Marisha said I'd probably brought
I feel like this is
pocket
the
bacon, but I
nicest
think the
dressed
character that
I've
Matt was
seen
playing, and she was
Yasha.
like, yeah, pocket bacon. Like,
Ashley,
can you
she's
put it in
usually
paper towel, put it in
very
your purse?
dressed down in
For later?
pajamas and stuff.
I was
Nothing
like,
wrong with it.
But
Just
the grease
pointing
gets
out.
all over the stolen credit cards and stuff.
And Tal'dorei has a
I mean,
lovely
if you get a
stained
decent
glass
paper,
shirt.
it depends on the ply
It
level
looks
of
like.
the paper towel. Should
Gotta
be able
get
to,
some
like,
brawn.
You don't want
Look at that hat.
bacon.
Some bronze.
Yeah.
Some
Where do
bronze,
I know
yeah.
that hat from?
Yes, yeah.
If
That
anybody
hat's
works
in a movie.
for, Braun paper towels out there,
The
go ahead
official
and
paper
send
towel
us
of pocket bacon.
official paper towel of pocket baking.
They made little
Braun,
sleeves so you could fit a
the
whole thing of
official
bacon in. It
towels
was just
of
like a paper
pocket
towel
bacon.
sleeve. That would be amazing.
That would be
Oh,
a
man.
very
I like his
You could
coat
have a-
too.
you could have a
Tal'dorei's
bacon
got nice
holster.
style.
Allison, you're making my mouth water for the second time tonight.
See?
Oh,
We're talking about
was
licking
not
to the
prepared for
center of a
show.
Tootsie Pop from the beginning.
Good morning.
Never prepared.
Good morning.
See what I'm saying, though? It's
Our
like funny to me
first question
they
of
even
the night
separate
comes
it
from
into
Miss
after
Sunflower
hours.
94.
Oh, it
It's
is.
for the
It isn't because of the
actress who
language,
goes by the
actually,
name of
someone said.
Ashley. How
It's
does
like
it feel having Yasha
other
secure the
group.
space of Alpha Goth?
Wow.
Oh man,
Having
that's such a
Yasha's-
nice thing to say. It feels great. I think.
I know what they
that's-
mean,
that's
but I don't
always
think
a
I've
spot
ever
that I
heard
wanted
Alpha
to
Goth
fill.
spoken.
Yeah.
But
And
I
I didn't know how.
feel like I know what they mean.
How. I didn't
like I'm
realize
too
that
close.
was going to be the part I was going to fill in
Alpha
this game,
Goth.
but I just
You're
couldn't
the
be more
Alpha
pleased.
Goth
Oh, I
person.
get it.
I just feel at home.
Yeah. There's a connected follow-up here for Taliesin from Pots and Pans 11. How does it feel to be so vastly out-gothed in both
I like how he
campaigns
said that.
so far?
Like Pots and
You
Pans
know,
11 has a
I've
question.
gotten the gothing out of my system, and really, it's time for another generation to goth.
You've blown all your goth.
I've blown my goth. It's dead
Blown
and buried.
And
my
Los Angeles
goth.
is for the better.
Probably for the better. This is a weird. It's weird. Los Angeles and like Miami are weird places to goth. It's just very hot.
I can't picture. Does Miami have a big
Florida
goth scene?
I wouldn't know.
exists, and it is very
I've been
damp.
to both.
Really?
It is just very damp.
Once
and
or
it's
twice,
moldy,
and I was a
it's-
child.
I mean, like they're out there. Yeah,
But that's
moist
where
goth.
Michelle
It is
moved.
not a
Michelle
pleasant
moved to
goth.
LA.
Moist Goth will be my new Instagram account name. Danny, could you please sign me up for use any of my 50 email addresses? Wow,
Yeah.
Moist Goth.
He is so
Yeah, no,
moist goth.
It's,
She's just shaking her head no.
She's like
Not gonna do it.
even no. She's
Yeah, Brian is the
that
most
single
clean
ringlet
cut. I
is especially
feel like I've
nodding.
seen him.
She's got one ringlet that's really aggressively knowing that.
Courtney's not here, but I can still feel she's upset at me.
It's always true.
Ashley, the Midnight Archer wants to know what was going through yours and Yasha's minds during your visions. Those were pretty
Oh
incredible.
man, no, you can hear.
Yeah, I
Now,
feel
wait,
like
do you
Someone
guys
give
know?
too much away in
we
case
know that you
people haven't
know
caught up yet.
Molly's backstory.
here's what I was
We know a lot
talking about.
Molly's
and
backstory.
pieces of each other's backstory.
If I think it's going to come up, I throw it at her so that she doesn't
Yeah.
have like pages and pages
Okay,
of
yeah.
shit. But
I still have things that I have to share with him that I
Yeah.
think he would know, and I think vice versa.
How
and every once in a while, they're like, "Oh,
interesting. I
wait,
literally
you would
said
know
this
this
before
right
the
before a
episode.
game."
Yeah.
We tell each other, but
Nobody else from the cast.
They
is watching
definitely
the show
know a
because they sent
good,
us pictures
I'd
that they're
say,
at a miniature golf
80%
place doing.
of each
What
other.
happens is during talks is everyone who's not on the show goes and hangs out together and does something fun and then sends all of us pictures of them
I'm watching this
all hanging out
at 11
together,
o'clock
having
the
fun
next
stuff
morning
while
after
we're-
the live stream, guys. So I'm
Doing
not
this.
drinking
Yeah, talking
seltzers.
about arch
With
queefing
you.
and stuff. Yeah.
I chugged about
Carnival
7 or 8
rides.
seltzers
well,
and
it's-
had 4 pints
I
at
think
lunch.
just for me
So today
personally,
is
that was
light.
exciting because that is something different that we're doing in this campaign, where we have sort of private visions with Matt.
Oh, that's coming to Alpha
like-
soon, I heard. Private Visions with Matt.
Matt Mercer.
Private visions
So,
with
but
Matt.
it's so
I
fun
like
because
it. I like.
it's
We have lots of
reminiscent
show
our
titles this
home
episode.
games where if something happened back many years ago when we were playing at home, he would take one of us aside and
To the kitchen.
take him to
Yep.
the kitchen or take us to the living room at Travis and Laura's place and tell us something that we could either share with the group or keep to ourselves. And it was very exciting, and because it's an experience that you're having with the Critical Role community, that you're all just there together sort of listening to Matt's amazing storytelling, and,
Yeah.
and also it's a part of your story, which is so exciting to hear. And I want to go back and watch it again.
It's
'cause I
still
know that there's
interesting to
some
me
stuff that I missed, and I
that
wanted
somebody
to,
else
in
tells
Yeah, I
you
wanted to
about
take
your
notes, but I was
character.
like,
Like
I gotta-
it's
I just want to
funny
be in
that
this
you
and-
don't know things about
and
yourself.
I can go back and watch it. That's the great thing. About
But I
this
mean, I
game.
love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
but-
I get it. It's just,
If you have a subscription. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it is like a role-playing game, except having
but
somebody
yeah, I think-
physical like Matt
I think-
Mercer
and
explain it
as
to
for
you. I don't know.
Yasha,
It's different.
I think that, of course, meant a lot to sort of make a stronger connection with the Stormlord. And, she's still sort of new in her journey and her walk with the Stormlord. So I think that was a pretty powerful moment. Some of the visions, I'm sure she's still trying
Talzin's
to figure
face
out,
right
as am
now.
I.
Yeah.
His eyes got so
Been here
big.
since we put the.
He looked like he was
mace
about
on
to
the set.
freaking eat her
Oh, hey.
in a nice way, though.
Like so
Yeah.
nice.
Will you hit Max with it later?
Of course.
Of course.
Taliesin.
Ashley seems like a delight.
Muted
I mean, they all do.
Rainbows wants to know.
Every one of them seems like someone I'd hang with. But
I've been
Ashley is
wondering
quick.
this ever since we
witted.
learned about
I
Molly's
like it.
past. Does he see Gustav as a sort of father figure?
Sure.
I would say so. Sure.
It's
I would think yes, being
definitely,
as
I
he
wouldn't go so
found
far
him.
as to say father figure, but there's definitely a mentor figure. Like anytime, those sorts of
Literally was
communities
gonna
tend to
say
definitely
mentor
have
figure.
parental character. Like I can even think back to like working some of the fairs
Like,
and like there's
my
definitely
favorite
there
uncle.
were people you even just refer to as mom,
Yeah.
or like dad. Even if it's just like
I've done
the
stuff like that.
adult.
I've become so
And he
friendly
definitely
with
treated him as a
friends,
token, like,
mothers,
there was a token
girlfriends,
adult of
mothers,
that group.
fathers.
So yeah,
I call them
there's
mom and dad
definitely-
to this day. People I
there's
don't
that
even
without
date
the,
anymore.
without
Friends I
really
haven't
the-
seen in probably years.
reverence.
I still call them mom and
It's
dad.
unconditional love without reverence, I suppose, would be the. Yeah, it's the I love you. You are a fucking train. We are all train wrecks, but it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend you are not a complete disaster.
One of my
Human being, or else you
ex-girlfriends
wouldn't
from
be
like
here.
15 years ago is
Yeah, it's
involved
so,
in the
there's-
town
there's-
at the
There's
arcade
definitely, and
area.
that's something that's going to come back up
I
as
still
soon
call
as
her
there's
mom.
breathing
I'm
room.
like, hey mom, what's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, it's been a little.
We have not forgotten.
I
about
haven't
this
seen
stuff.
her daughter, who
Yeah.
I dated, in probably 4 years. I haven't even seen her,
Gustav does not forget.
but I see the mom all the time.
Gustav is still serving community service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Only 200 hours left.
yeah.
That's what I say to myself every Saturday. Ashley, Marvelous Miss C wants to know the dreams that Yasha were having was an amazing and insightful moment. Was Yasha left with a sense of comfort or vulnerability after such a strange and vivid sequence? How did it leave you feeling when it was over?
I would say
Yeah,
vulnerability.
I mean, more to answer that question more, I think,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a sense of comfort. That was kind of dark.
was-
and we still have answers. Unless she
again,
understands
obviously I
it.
know more of my backstory and not to give anything
I was
away.
going to say, she must
Some
understand
of the
it.
visions
I don't.
allude to some of the backstory, and some of those are not so comfortable to sort of, I'm trying to think of.
Well, on.
By the
Probably
way, I wore my Frumpkin shirt
Yeah, I mean, they weren't necessarily.
before I knew it was Ashley and Tal'dorei, because I thought maybe
I'm
we'd
trying
talk
to think of
about
how to, like, answer
Kiri
this and
and
not give anything away.
Frumpkin and have
do it
Caleb
in
on.
I think,
But I was wrong.
well, I don't know Latin.
You
but
don't? I'm
I
outta
think,
here.
I think it left her feeling both of those things.
Yeah.
I would say yes, but
there's comfort in
I don't
sort
know
of
what she
knowing
knows.
that she does have a connection with the Stormlord, but I think there was some vulnerability and some scariness. to some
Stormlord's
of the
also-
visions.
Yeah.
I got questions.
Yeah, so
He
it's-
seemed
there
nice.
were many feelings and emotions.
He
there,
didn't come down and be like, listen, bitch,
which
you fucking
I
kill all
I
these
don't want to
people.
give too much away.
She used
He
to
was
feeling
like- he seemed
vulnerable, or
genuine.
No? Probably not with groups of people, I'm guessing.
Not
I
with
get
groups
that
of
vibe.
people, yeah. I think especially, this is, we keep talking about this when we're sort of off stream. We all have this is only 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks
Yeah,
have
it's
gone
only
by.
a few weeks that these
Yeah.
people have been in a group together.
Yeah, so it's still, we keep sort of going back and forth with like, well, we've played 20 games and we've all spent a lot of time together. We all know each other so well, but these characters don't. They've only known each other for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think that's why everybody is like holding on to their backstories, because you're sort of like, well, would I share this with these people in 3
I get it.
weeks?
Is this
Yeah.
a thing that's going to last, or is this going to be over in like a
Yeah,
month?
but you're
So-
also like, well, this is D&D, and we're
Yeah.
playing this for fun, so
See, my
You know,
thing
but-
is, I get that point of view,
It is-
but you're
it's
with
different.
the people you
String
know
it
are
out.
going to
Yeah.
stay
We've known
with
Taliesin
you
for
a
so many
while.
years, and every week we
Even if
find
they
out
live or
something
die,
new
they're gonna
about his
This is
come
backstory.
back.
true.
So
This
it's
is
like
true.
as somebody else, possibly, I guess. I don't know how that works. I still have not yet seen or know if that happens. You guys
Away
lead
from,
me to
like, the game
believe
engine studio.
yeah.
that it will or probably
Max
has
is just laying
happened,
down
but I don't
back
know
there.
for sure.
He's just taking a
It's
nap.
still a
Fetal.
secret.
Yeah, he's in
to
a fetal
everyone.
position.
There he stays.
Yes. Dang. Danny's got him locked up. That's why Danny, before the
I
show,
gotta
was like,
say,
bring out the gimp.
I already was spoiled that
Taliesin,
Trinket
yeah.
lives through
Radar
Vox Machina.
Fort
Not that
wants
that's a
to know.
huge spoiler.
We know Yasha
But I thought when
knows
I
a
saw the
fair
stuffed
bit of
Trinket,
Molly's
that
background,
Trinket
but doesn't
died.
Molly
Well,
know much about Yasha, as we were asking that earlier.
Trinket did die at some
Was
point of
he
old
as
age,
surprised
I'm
as
assuming.
everyone else when her wings appeared?
No.
Interesting. Okay, so that's something that.
I think yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a brief conversation.
So
about,
Molly
like,
knew.
Yeah,
Ah, nice.
he's seen that before.
Yeah, there was.
He's heard the music that comes along with those wings coming out.
Well,
Yeah.
the pregame, which your character was in, but you were not in because we did a test game for the characters, and
Yeah.
you couldn't make it for the test game. Implied that like we had been in skirmishes. I mean, like that circus had been camping alongside the roads like for 2 years, and those skirmishes seem to happen every other night.
Yeah.
So it's
we
not
would-
like they just came out of nowhere. This was just like you're gonna camp by the road. Bandits are gonna come along. So we've probably been together in like 20, 25 fights already. It's
Shit,
not
all right.
unusual.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're used to being jacked on the
Probably nothing
road.
as serious as
That is a
No.
common
not, but just
thing.
difficult
Goblins.
people or
Yeah.
goblins, yeah,
Yeah.
things like that.
No
The norm.
giant alligator things.
No.
Yeah.
I love a good
The
giant
huge.
alligator.
Liege.
Yeah.
I would
Cool.
assume that of any
Yeah,
of these
Lake
people, though.
Placid.
I would think any of our
I
people
was thinking about that the
would have been
entire-
in many,
the
many
en-
fights
entire
before
game
we all
Lake
got
Placid was
together,
going through my
just
head. I
because
couldn't-
of who
I
they are
have
and what
it
they
too,
do.
And then this weekend, Lake Placid versus Anacondas was on the Sci-Fi Channel. I
And
watched
this
it.
morning I was
I
watching
don't think I've
the
seen that
one with the
but I've seen them solo.
just
The one with the girl in the bathing suit who gets eaten by the. Oh, that's everyone.
yeah, I was like, that's what
is-
I
just-
watch
Girl
a
in the
good
bathing suit in
deal
Lake
of those
Placid
sci-fi
is-
movies.
it's just Oliver
Sharknado,
Platt
I've
movies.
seen
It's
everyone.
Oliver
I
Platt
think
in the
there's
bathing suit and Betty
four,
White, Betty
maybe
White in the
five.
role of her life.
Yeah, it is. Betty
Lake
White.
Placid,
Oh
Betty
my
Light,
gosh.
Betty Light,
Because
Betty
someone was
White.
being like, someone was being really weird about the who was like, was it Bo who was trying to be nice to the alligators? And I was
think
like,
so.
I was just imagining Betty White with her like,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is I just want to tell you to suck it, you know. just-
Yeah.
She fed her
an
husband to
episode
the
on
alligator
Innocent little Betty
in
White.
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid, great film. Go see it.
Great film.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Not
see
now,
it.
but
It's out now in theaters.
Was it that movie? I feel like it was that
Amazon.
movie where she said
let's
her
give her some
husband
free
beat the
shit
shit
real
out of
fast, shall
her,
we?
so she
Let's
fed
do
him to
it.
the
Each week we
Lake
like to
Placid
feature
gator.
unique creations
I'm pretty sure
by
that was
you,
it.
the critters, including those
Haven't
epic
seen it in a
gift-making
long time.
skills. It's gift of the week.
Give it a wee.
Gift of the week.
Our winner for episode 20 of Campaign 2 was sent in by Eden Chenzayan.
Eden
AKA
or Aiden?
Eden is sour.
I have to see it
Eden
spelled.
Edanosaur. At Edanosaur. Let's take a look.
No, I lie. Eden, yeah. Oh my God, we got flask. We got
Drink.
flask.
Oh my God, I
we got
forgot about the
flask.
mind flask.
Flask.
Drink.
Flask.
What a bunch of
I'll drink
degenerates.
a bunch. You are very drunk. She's trying to gag him.
Oh my God.
Stick.
Do you want me to stick something down your throat?
Look at it.
This is a fucked up way to start a morning. That was pretty good. That person put in some time.
I was excited by the notion of just everybody vomiting. I thought that
Yeah.
was fun.
Some of the gifts,
No,
I
it's-
understand they have to be
Just thought
quick
it was
because
funny,
they're
just someone
doing
really
live, like not
strong
live,
as
but
Yasha,
they're
but you see someone
following
throw
their
up and you're
motions.
like, oh no.
Some of them are like very quick though. You have, I almost have to
did.
watch it a couple times to get it. That one was good.
Congrats
Fast.
to you, E. Dinosaur. You have won this Critical Role hoodie that Ashley is modeling for us tonight. Why don't you give us a twirl there and show
This
us?
is actually this was sitting right there,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
the
I
one
put it
that-
on. This is
that's-
probably not the one that you're gonna get unless you want it.
Yeah, we'll give
Unless
it
you
to him.
want
And
it.
then on the back,
And
you
then
said
the back,
that
yeah.
you got to show the back.
Oh yeah, there we
That
go.
was
That's the
but
good.
yeah.
I love it. I literally said how Ashley looked more put together, and it's because she stole the hoodie off the
Fantastic.
chair that we're giving away as gift of the
Your
week.
face in that heart.
And then she says, unless you want it, I guarantee you. I personally, not to be creepy, because it's not. I just think it'd
That's
be
all the time we have
cooler
for tonight, folks.
to have a
It's not going to get
a
any better
sweater
than
or
that
hoodie
moment.
worn by any of them. If you told me it was Brian's, I would be
And,
like,
also,
honestly,
the
I have
Critical Role
Brian's
dice,
hoodie.
the
Like,
event
it,
dice, which
I
are
just think it
like
would
the
make
ones
it
we give out at the
worth more,
events.
or to
Those
me,
are solid.
like not monetarily. I would just want one of their
Black on
hoodies.
red.
You told me here's Talzin's hoodie,
These
I'd
are
be
good.
like
These
rocking that
all
shit,
rolled-
telling everybody.
These all roll 20s every time, even though they're not all D20s.
Yeah, that 20 on the
We can't
D4, a little
guarantee
weird.
that. We can't guarantee that that works. Don't add us or sue us. You can submit your gifts for our weekly contest by emailing
Submit.
them to submit
Submit.
at talksmachina.com. These
Submit.
dice will not
Give me a
submit to this
dime.
dice bag.
Submits everywhere.
All right, moving on. A question for Ashley from Ramsey Baggins.
Ramsey Bolton
Now that her
and
God
Bilbo
has given her the
Baggins.
blessing,
I
their
like it.
blessing, do you think Yasha feels more comfortable with the group?
Ramsey Bolton and Bilbo Baggins, two of my
No, I think
not
she's just
favorite
uncomfortable
characters
with
ever.
people in general.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like
I
Yasha
forgot to
is
put
kind of
shoes
like
on
a
and my
homeschooler.
socks are sliding all over the floor. That's
You
why
know,
I'm
where,
moving
I
a
mean,
lot.
I relate because I homeschooled through high school, but when you get around, you know, regular kids in public school, you're like, oh, I'm weird,
Yeah.
you know? So I feel like Yasha's like that. So I think.
Regular kids.
I would never
regular
know.
kids.
I had
Cute.
cousins
But I
who
feel
were
like she has,
homeschooled,
you know,
and I
confidence
went
in
to
her
public school my entire life.
journey with that she's going the
And we
the
used to
right
hang out in
direction.
college, and I
But I
do
think
feel
she's still
like
awkward with people.
they were a little
Yeah,
more
interesting.
awkward socially.
Me too.
I was like, God, she's a
I
child actor.
feel like
Oh, no.
it's not their fault. I feel like it's just
no.
inevitably
Just
going to happen.
set school.
They were
Just
homeschooled
set teachers.
pretty much
Oh,
up
no.
till
Oh, I
the
forgot
end
it
of
was
high
Child
school,
Actors Night.
Yeah,
and then
it is.
went to
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
college that I
not
went to.
Not a year of actual school between us, probably.
and I feel like they
I
were
know,
very
right?
socially
Not
awkward,
unsupervised.
to say
I
the least.
did. I did go up until middle school.
I didn't meet anybody my own age who didn't have a SAG card until I was like.
And I'm
I
not
mean,
trying
like
to say
with
one's
rare
better than the
exceptions,
other.
I was
I'm just
Really?
comparing.
I
I
was
went to
in school for
public
like
school.
2
They
months,
went
and
to
then I get a
homeschool.
gig and
They
be
went
out,
to
and then-
homeschool.
Yeah, and you were gone.
That's
I don't want to know
best.
these people.
And they're
That's the best.
functioning,
It was
successful people now. Don't get me wrong.
unprepared for-
I
for
just
the
feel
evil
like when we were
teenagers.
in
Yeah, that's
college,
true.
it was like a
Yeah.
awkward transition.
back
Now
brace,
they're
which you
totally
finally
fine.
saw.
We're like
Yeah, that she
older.
wore a back brace for a long time. Yeah,
Middle
just
school.
because she thought it looked cool.
Yeah, 3 years, 22 hours a day.
How did that not catch on? That's the trend that should have caught on.
Back braces?
Is
I
it
know, you
though?
could stuff an umbrella
Is it
in
though?
and just
Oh
have it
my
hold it for you.
God.
You
Get
know,
like one of
you
those
walk around.
fancy like umbrellas from Blade Runner. It could have been great.
See, I wish I would have been friends with you. You would have made life easier.
I'm like,
I almost
how
thought
is that?
Ashley was
Yeah,
getting
that
like
was
offended.
It's all right.
Because
I
it's
get the
almost,
last time.
Yeah.
I don't know, you could go
Yeah,
both
tell
ways with
us
that. You could either get offended
Make
and
up
be
for
like,
lost
how
time with
dare
the
you?
answer to
It was
this
a
question
traumatic
from
time of
Teal
my
Time.
life. I don't know, but
In
Ashley
this
seems like she
episode,
makes
we
the best
saw
of
Molly
it.
leave a silver in
Reminds
a
me
tree
of
struck by lightning.
D
Is this part of his moral
from
code,
Always
part
Sunny.
of his belief in the Moonweaver, or something else entirely?
That's Moonweaver. That's I mean Moonweaver. I haven't really defined it with Matt particularly well how I want to play with that, but I like the idea that his whole notion for leaving that there was that someone is going to investigate and he wanted them to be rewarded. And it was just the notion of like, I want someone to come look in this tree and find something that shouldn't be there. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah.
I used to really love leaving loose change behind couches. I'd just like I would drop coins in couches and like malls and stuff all the time. And like kids are gonna play around there. They're gonna find a quarter. They're gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
It's great. And like, so I like the idea that
Random.
it's just like that the notion of the Moonweaver is kind of this notion that oftentimes the truth is sad, disappointing, and designed to point out how unfair life is. And so let's just do everything we can to like gloss over that.
Yeah.
Because life is short.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very much.
I've
just-
never
it's
heard
definitely in
of
the
someone
build
dropping
of the Moonweaver
coins,
that I've
but
been
I think that's
trying to
interesting.
like square with whatever Matt has planned, whatever
Yeah.
that may be.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
The
that was
Moonweaver.
Who knows, yeah.
Interesting.
he likes to spend money.
Moonweaver.
I do too, and like it's an interesting like choice for as gods go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious how it's going to play out because
too.
everyone else has had the God talk now. We'll see.
The God talk. Yeah.
God talk.
I don't know much about Moonweaver.
Yeah.
The Moonweaver believes that they will get you through the night, but
I
favorite
believe
Mariah
you
Carey
will
song.
get me through the night.
Ashley,
Sorry, my
save
voice
us
is
from
a
that
little rough
reference
today.
with
It's
an
the
answer
morning.
to this
I
question
haven't yet
from
woken
Lady
up
Soria
fully.
28.
If you guys hear I can't
What
in the
was
morning, I clear
inspiration
my
for
throat for
Yasha's
like
flower
30 hours.
collection? Did you have the
Then I'm
idea
better.
before Not gave Yasha flowers?
Yes. So I have a book that was given to me by Molly Mock, and was a book on etiquette and manners. And it was actually something that when I was putting the character together, that was actually something that I rolled for, because sometimes you can, in your stuff, you can sort of roll that. And so Matt and I had talked about it, and he's like, let's just say you got that from Molly Mock because I don't really have manners and etiquette.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And a 4-leaf clover was in there that he gave me. But I also,
Started the
collection
collection?
of flowers has meaning. It's
Yeah.
not just a random thing. And that book is
Gotta
filled with
be
a lot of
Something to do
flowers
with all
from-
those bodies around her. in the vision
her
or the
travels
dream.
after leaving Jorhas.
You are the second character in these games to collect flowers, by the way, to press flowers in a book, by the way.
Jester?
Really?
Who was the other?
Keyleth collected flowers as well.
Oh, that's right.
Did she?
I forgot
I
about
knew you
that.
had too. I was like,
See,
oh,
I wouldn't
was
know
like,
that.
this is like
I
a
wasn't
great,
around Keyleth
wonderful
enough to
bridge.
know that.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Keyleth started
Spoiled
doing
the
it in
entire
our
tale
game
of
later on,
Vox
but yeah.
Machina. Keyleth collects flowers, and now I know the
that's
ending.
cool.
I know exactly how it all
What a
ends.
full circle.
You should
Keeping
make
What
sure
a
you
full
keep track
circle.
of what you're collecting and what it
Yeah,
looks like,
yeah.
because that's interesting.
Oh, Danny's crying now.
Oh,
Danny's crying.
Dan, I heard
Crying
her.
into her herbal tea.
I heard her go.
Taliesin,
Yes.
Little Gay Menace wants
Reminded me
to
of
know,
Kung Pao.
That's the
great.
best name ever.
That's, I hope your real name is Dennis, because that's amazing.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Little gay.
Yeah.
Little gay menace.
Does Molly Mock regret not staying with what remained of the circus?
Look at his
No.
face.
I don't think. I will say I don't think Molly. Well, I know for a fact Molly does not.
If
does
I didn't
not,
know the screen was over there, I'd be like, what is
believe that
Ashley
there's
looking at?
anything
But
left,
she's
that whatever
reading
was
the
left there was
question.
not going to function without Gustav. There wasn't an adult left. Everybody else was too deep into their own shit to actually maintain anything. It was like, this is going to explode.
Interesting
I don't wanna be
question.
around this.
Little gay menace.
But I've also literally never lived alone or in my life. Have I ever been consciously away from a group of people who I was kind of functioning with? So I'm just going to migrate over to this thing, which at least I don't know how it's going to explode yet, whereas I know exactly how this is going to turn into a cluster. So yeah, it was. I think it's very much like when an old roommate in a house moves out and a new roommate moves in, and you're like, I got to get out of here in the next month.
Yeah.
Everyone was fine until this new person showed up, and now or like one person leaves, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
This was
Just threw it all
this
out.
was the person who was doing all the dishes. We're going to destroy each other.
Yeah,
Like,
I
stuff
can
getting
see
out.
that.
Yep.
I've
Yeah,
never
he's never
lived
been
with
alone,
other
and I don't
people
think he's
besides
ready to-
family
even,
members.
Even if he disagrees with
But
things
I've
that go on in the
dated
group, I think
many
he's
girls
terrified
who
to get
lived
on
with
his own at this
roommates.
point.
Yeah.
And therefore,
Yeah,
I
makes sense.
basically lived with roommates with
Yeah.
them because I would stay
Devil
over their
you know,
house
right?
half the week and they'd stay over my house.
And you're there. so
Roommates can suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met some that
a
are
little bit.
amazing,
Yeah.
and I've met some that you're
clinging
literally
onto
like,
each other in a
how
weird way.
you functioning as a human
I
and
mean, not, like,
alive?
from
Because
afar,
I want
I
to
know
kill
what you
you.
mean.
But just
Yeah.
like still, I think we're both
Yeah.
staying for each other.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
I feel like there's no
sense,
reason
Yasha.
Molly would have stayed
No,
with the
he's
circus.
definitely
Like
awesome.
he said,
Yeah, he's.
I mean,
very
it made
sentimental
perfect
in a
sense the way
weird
Taliesin
in a
put
weird
it.
way.
Yeah. you
there were
can
no
tell by
adults.
leaving
There
the
is
silver
no
in the
one
tree.
of sound
But
mind
he also
willing
he
to
often
control
like,
or
and
take
it'll
over.
show up once my money kind of like he overpays for things all the time, and like yeah, he's just throws money at
Throwing
people.
money
with
around,
you, right?
enjoying life.
No, and it's just like, what is the point of this other than to make other people happy? So I'm just like,
Yeah.
please get this, you know.
Yeah. That's
I know people like that
I
too,
expect to be
where
paid
they
for what I do.
are
I
well
expect to
off,
pay other
let's
people
say,
for what they
and
do.
throw money around like it's nothing. Not because they're wasteful, but because they think I have
all right, it's my
too
job.
much, so I'm gonna splurge
Actually,
and
Weekend
make
Cheese
others
wants to
happy.
know,
It's a good way to be if
how
you got
long
the
has
money.
Yasha been collecting bits of nature? Is she drawn to specific things like flowers? Does she collect things that are connected to certain experiences?
I like
or
that
things
one.
that evoke certain feelings?
Weekend
perhaps?
cheese.
yeah, I think she's definitely collecting things that sort of can go in the book, but
Symbolize events.
collecting a piece of the bark from the tree.
So that's something that would be collected from a certain experience.
Yeah,
The bark.
I think they're.
I feel like
they're-
most would have some
They're
connection.
more so collected from places that
We visit.
she's been.
Yeah.
So, leaving Jorhas and, having a flower and been like, oh, this is from.
That's definitely an event thing.
know,
then.
when I
It means something. It's not
was
just.
out with
I feel like
Molly
the question
Mock
is
and
like,
we were in.
hey, I don't have that
you know,
flower. I
whatever
need it.
town. And, so I think each place that she goes and the further she gets, she wants like a little piece of nature and
Each means something.
she's collecting it for something.
Yeah.
But
The difference would be, like I said, if she's like, I'm
artists.
missing that flower.
Yes.
It's not about the
Dead
missing of the flowers. It's about each flower
Yeah.
That's
is
cool.
them transitioning.
Taliesin Kesray
to a
wants to
new
know, Molly
location.
was pretty keen to get out of town when news of the war broke out. Now they're on the road again. Is it a case of out of the frying pan and into the fire? Is he worried about more of his past catching up to him?
He's decided not to worry about his past catching up with him, because what are the odds of that happening again?
Yeah, sure.
That's what he thinks. I know.
Yeah.
But he was like,
I'm happy that Taliesin
No,
acknowledges.
the road is
That's
always safer
crazy.
for in times like this. It's just the minute that you start, you can't gain a reputation on a road.
Yeah.
And we were definitely starting to gain a reputation, and like cities are where bad things happen to travelers.
I really dig
So,
his
like, it's
shirt. Is that
definitely-
Cthulhu? Like a mini
It's
Cthulhu?
great that they like us now. Let's get out of here before they decide we're either dangerous or useful.
Yeah.
Because those are the two worst things to be.
Yeah.
It
So
looks
let's-
like,
in a
I don't
city,
know,
yeah.
it's
There's
like a
lot of
pentagram
places
or
we can
something
go.
with
We
some
don't have to
Cthulhu
stay
looking.
here and like, is anyone really interested in becoming well known as somebody who should be fighting a war? No, out. Not our problem.
Out.
Yeah.
Throw him
It's
out.
definitely my vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Throw him
sense.
out.
Well, let's give away some more free
Mm.
shit real fast before we dive
Yay.
deeper. Our next giveaway is for you fans that create and send in incredible art from moments during Critical Role. It's time for fan art of the week.
Fan art of the week. I just got a text. That's why I looked down.
What?
Apparently, the entire menu has
This week's
changed
fan
at
art
the
winner
arcade.
was
I'm
sent
curious
in
to
by
see.
Rhea Gallagher, aka at cyanide_lemons. Let's take a look.
Yep.
Whoa, I didn't see
I
that.
was just looking at that today.
That is pretty awesome.
So cool. This is getting harder and harder. every
Lightning
week,
hitting
guys,
the
because
tree,
The art
and
that is
Yasha,
coming in
that is hot.
insane. I'm so glad we have our
That's up there,
sizzle reel
guys.
to show it off because it's getting so hard
Top
to pick
three.
a winner. Usually I
Top 3 GIF
we
or
print
fan
all
art
of
of
them
the
out
week.
on a giant canvas and they blindfold me and spin me around in a
Look at
circle and I
Yasha.
throw a dart.
Oh, and we're in the hands.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice we're in the hands of the Storm
We don't
Lord.
have a blindfold.
We don't have a blindfold here. We can't afford one on this alpha money.
That is awesome. More so.
Thank you to everyone.
I
who
thought it was awesome
submitted.
before I saw
Congrats
she was
to you,
standing in the
Rhea or
hands.
Rhea. I don't know.
That's a good
You have won this.
and tootin', guys.
I can't say it. Calamantan. Okay. Max made a joke earlier about
Calamantan.
It's Kalimantan. Calamantan.
Kalimantan?
And
Calamantan?
Max was like, gotta have that Calimantan.
Kalimantan.
That is
Look at my
actually good.
Calimantan.
Isn't that just the left arm really
That is
tight?
The
the
Cali Mantan. I don't know.
Spinning
I've
my
never
live
been to
at
Cali,
405.
but I feel like Cali people would have full
This is a
tans,
tabletop
not
dice
farm.
tray.
I get farmer tans.
What's on the inside?
I don't have a
Yeah.
farmer tan now because I just got back
Calimantan.
from the shore, but typically I'm tan
This
from
is from
here
our
down.
friends at Wormwood Gaming. Make sure to check them out on Twitter
Farmer tan.
at Wormwood Gaming and their website, wormwoodgaming.com. A reminder for those submitting, please include.
I was like, what is he
If you
doing?
win.
I didn't catch it.
And just a reminder, giveaways are currently only available to people in the U.S. and Canada, excluding Quebec.
I literally thought he was
Also,
saying
we will post the
admitting.
fan art winner on our
Admitting.
Instagram, so if you want a closer look at it, go to @ToxMachina. Up next, a question for both of you from Connor Dedick. How crazy is Matt for including an NPC that requires him to mimic all your voices?
He's just showing off. He's just
Now
being a
it's
dick
now
now.
it's-
This was Matt
Yeah.
trolling us.
Yep.
That's all this is.
Totally. But I mean,
Wouldn't want anything less.
give me a break with that little bird.
If it is,
I know.
good for
We're
us.
all obsessed with that bird.
I know.
I will
Kiri,
protect her with my
talking
life.
about Kiri.
Yeah.
I want to get that bird drunk.
There was some great fan art of her this week, too.
She's so
Surfing
cute.
bird.
Oh shit, are we gonna see
Of
it?
course, Matt can play
Oh,
the
no.
cutest little
Maybe we won't
thing.
see
And
it.
Yeah.
just, but also.
I gotta check out the art. You
Yeah,
guys
no,
told
it's
me to
adorable.
check out the art from now
Yeah,
on.
fan art's
I gotta
been
check out
amazing.
the art.
Been
I'm
around for a
sure
long
there's
time.
Kiris in
Be
there.
dead by next week. We all know that.
Kiri is.
Yeah, that guy. That was
You guys
exactly
also
what I
told
was
me in the
hoping
live
for.
stream there is a
Reaction that
Kiri
you're gonna get for
plush
That was what I was hoping
that
for.
actually talks.
It's Kiri? Am I
Kiri.
saying that right?
Kiri.
Kiri.
Kiri?
Kiri. She's a kenku.
Kenku.
Kenku. Kenku
Kenku.
chicken.
Love me some
Ashley.
Kenku.
Sorry, guys. Useless Hooligan wants to know, why did Yasha feel the need to insight check that poor bird child?
I think I just thought that would be funny because that little bird is just so innocent.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny that
I
Yasha
figured
just is
so
like,
much. I didn't think
There's gotta be a
Yasha
dark- I don't
legitimately
trust
thought
this
it was
thing.
a
It's the
threat.
first time Matt like turned heel on us that hard though. He's done that to.
That's the
I'll say like
thing.
and also in other games I played with him like before CR, I've definitely seen him like take something sweet and adorable and turn it on us really hard.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't
mean,
be surprised.
look at the
with
little
Matt.
girl.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that at the end of the last campaign where like all of us around every corner were like, just not
Don't
trusting
spoil.
that there's not some story behind it.
He's like, I will say for me, like,
I
years
feel
of
like you
watching
guys
the
told
DM,
me
he has
once we
perfected
hit
the
a
art of,
certain
like,
episode,
figuring
they've
out
been
exactly what
weary
character
of
to make
Campaign
you
1
not
spoilers.
insight check them 9 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that be the one that turns on you. So I'm
Yeah.
always like, and like the ones that you insight check and insight do is just.
I feel like
just
you
a
have
tiny
to
bit
expect the
sinister, and it's
unexpected,
like, no,
especially
they're
after
totally on the up and up.
Kyrie
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I knew it.
I still.
what was the little girl that could sing?
I still don't trust that bird. I think she's adorable
I
and
can't
she's
think of the name.
little, so I want to protect her,
Kyrie?
but I'm also
Oh, what was her name?
trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm with you.
I
on
want to
that.
say
don't
Kara,
entirely
but I
trust the
know
bird.
Kara's the other girl.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just I don't trust Matt.
I know, it's hard to tell, though,
He's
these
gonna
days.
make me love something, and then he's gonna
He's gonna
shatter our
just
hearts.
destroy it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
That's what we both love and hate about him.
We love
Yeah.
that Matt shatters your
Carlson,
hearts. I mean, kinda.
Monolaw says, you seem to play Molly as leaning on his charms and charisma-based abilities rather frequently, despite having assigned him a lackluster associated attribute,
Have you ever met a carny?
right?
I know.
Did you intend this
He
for
ain't
Molly,
wrong.
sort of like playing a game on hardcore mode?
I've
just to
known
make things more
carnies,
challenging?
legit
Yeah, he, well,
carnival
like,
people.
And I'm not kidding. Have you ever met a carny?
I
Just
have, and he's
deeply
right.
uncharming people trying really hard to lean on charm is kind of
Yeah.
the go-to. But
I've
also
met one or two
knowing
in my
that
life. One used to
because
work
of what he
at the
looks like, there's
scrapyard
kind of
after.
nothing he can do about it.
he
Just
was an
makes him lean
interesting
into it
dude.
a little harder. Of just, I'm just gonna do this, and I know it's never gonna. I'm like, and just I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised on the off chance it works.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's more of an attitude towards life rather than an
I was
attempt to,
just
like,
gonna
charm
say, I
anybody.
feel like
Yeah.
It's
a life choice.
Just maybe people will
they're
act like this
mostly the
back,
ones
but
I've met are
usually
mostly
no,
free
but that's
spirit,
fine.
go with the
Wasn't
flow,
expecting it.
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah,
money
it's-
around.
It's a very it's definitely a Priscilla Queen of the Desert vibe. I'm well aware.
He was very
of,
much
yeah.
like Molly, the guy I
Queen of
knew.
the
That is-
Go to the
that is-
bar, he would blow his
that is-
paycheck in a
I
night
love
and
that.
be
Deep
like,
cut Molly
I
Mott,
could
by
get
the way,
more
is Priscilla
tomorrow.
Queen of the Desert.
I'm
Just
Just
like,
work
watching
more.
that
And I'm
again.
thinking,
so good.
what if
Immediately,
you
it's so
can't?
good.
it's so good.
What if you get sick?
It's like
I had no idea.
fundamental to
Prepare.
our
No.
to our
Yeah.
They
to
don't
our
care.
youth.
It is.
Do you want to build a carny?
Do you want to build a
Carnies are great.
car?
We're getting sued because I did that. Melody. Ashley, Gabby
parody,
Rose
though. He
133
parodied
has a
it.
question for you,
Parody's
and it
okay.
starts like this. What does Yasha make of Trent Ickathon and his offer to speak to her again?
Well, now that she knows the history, I feel like dirty.
Trent sounds like a bachelor contestant.
Why am I blanking? He was the one that we met at when we did the fight after.
Yeah.
The after party at the
That's a bit of a
hotel
throwback.
lobby.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's weary of everybody, of course.
Ickathon.
But you know, he
Ashley
seems
knows
to
what we
be-
know, right?
I
Ashley-
think if we ever get to
I forget. Caleb said he wanted them to listen in.
What's it
I'd
called?
have to check the map, and that's walking to an entirely different set.
Yeah, I think he said if you guys get there, you come talk to me. I hope I'm getting this correct.
I think you're on.
Yeah.
Danny?
He hasn't yelled at you yet, so I feel like we're on the right track.
I don't remember every single word that gets uttered.
Don't you though?
I love
What?
that we have you here now just for reference because we're always like, wait, is this correct?
Wait, Trent was the guy that Caleb knows, though,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
That's the guy that Caleb knows,
Yeah.
but none of us know that.
Right. Well,
But
you
Caleb
watched it.
Yeah.
did say to watch it. Okay, so she did watch it, but they're not supposed to know. So she can't.
He's the archmage of symbol residuals at the International House of Terror
Pancakes?
Are we into
Terra
this guy?
pancakes.
I don't know. I don't think.
Was he unnerving? Or
Yes.
Was she just like, I don't give a shit?
I
Yeah,
don't
was
think
he-
she really gives a shit. I mean,
Honestly,
someone who
Yasha,
sort of,
I would say, doesn't give a shit.
you
Anyone
know,
else
the
might be
attention
unnerved.
that she was getting from people leading up to that fight of saying, hey, you know, come fight for us or things like that. I don't think she's not comfortable with that attention. And I think, you know, it's if someone's
But I feel like at this point, even
You know,
though
like
it'd be
how Trent was
metagaming,
kind of like,
because you
"Oh,
know
come,
Caleb's
you know,
backstory,
see us and
you can't trust him now.
meet up with me and talk with me.
You'd
and
be
vaguely
on your
remembering some
guard.
of
And he
it,
also
so
came off weird, so you'd
everyone's
have a
probably
reason.
like, what is she talking about?
No,
but
you're not. And if they are, they can-
But I think, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we ever get to that town and if she goes to see him. But I don't think that's on the top of her priority list
I want to
by any
hit. I
means.
want to hit every city on that map. I want to hit them all.
Me too.
I want to hit them all.
wanna go all of them.
Yeah.
How high
I'm
on your
down.
priority
I
list is
told you
getting a
guys.
funnel cake?
That was
That's
my thing.
probably
I would go
number
from
one.
town to
Yeah,
town and
I
talk
want
to
that
every
right now.
person, revisit
Yeah.
towns, thinking
I'm
things
gonna
would
leave.
change.
Yeah,
Most of the
funnel
time,
cake.
it didn't back in the day.
Here's
Games
a
weren't that
question
intelligent.
Would you feel like you had enough time to answer that?
Yeah, I later I'm gonna yeah. I'll be
Like the
thinking about
first time I
Trent
played a
and be
role-playing
like,
Why are you
game
gonna be thinking about Trent later?
where you went back to a town and
Don't be thinking
everyone
about Trent
changed
later.
their
I don't be
remember
sitting
the
there
conversation.
talk.
and be like,
watching a
oh.
movie
I was
with you,
shocked.
eating
Oh my God.
Arby's, knowing that
You got
think
to ask
about
everyone
Trent.
everything again?
Well, you know what?
Well, I don't even know
I
what
was
this
so
guy
happy.
looks like.
Where
Chris,
he
pull up a
is,
picture
who
of
he's
Trent.
with, what he's
all
doing,
jaundiced.
what he's thinking about.
He's all
Yeah,
thinking
jaundiced.
about you if he'll
jaundiced.
ever return.
Well, then he'll
It's fine.
definitely win you out. Wait,
Whoever
wait,
wrote the wiki really dwelled on the skin color.
wait.
Way to call me out, dude.
Ash,
What is this?
Oh my God, look at
it's
this.
just
Oh my
us
God.
reconnecting after you were thinking about Trent all night.
Well, what
Where
can
he
I
is,
say?
what he's doing, who he's with.
fast-
Here's a question.
So
Thinking
curious
you,
about him.
whether he'll return.
That's fine. Fuck you, Trent. If you're out there watching, if you're over in Rivendell or wherever the fuck you are.
Rivendell.
Probably in Rivendell, in which case I definitely will go there.
No!
Was Rivendell, is that where like Lord Archie and Lady Betty come from?
Isn't
And,
that
No,
where
shit.
Rivendell is
Rivendell
where
is
Aragorn's
Elrond.
from?
okay, that just sounds
No,
like
Rivendell
a middle
is where-
Middle-earth
Elrond.
version of
Riverdale is
Archie.
a television program on True
Rivendell
TV, I
is
think.
the
I
elves,
was
not
just suddenly
Aragon.
thinking of D&D
Aragon's the
Archie. I
human.
think that's genius.
Archie
I'm not into
Bunker.
that.
My, we've taken a turn.
This question is for both of you from Spenshi.
Sorry.
How do you guys think
Spenshi.
Molly and Yasha became friends? Did they kind of gravitate towards each other naturally while in the circus, or were there certain things that brought them closer?
I mean, like, it happened on paper, but like,
funny
I mean,
because
I
I
know how
just
it's
watched
written, and we haven't really
The
delved
trailer
into
to
more
the
detail
new
than what's on
Lord of the
paper
Rings
right now.
prequel.
Yeah, I
Rings
mean-
of
So you guys don't
Power.
really have that figured out yet, for sure.
Well, it
And
got written.
Galadriel and
So,
Elrond
yeah,
are
it got
big
written,
deals in
we've
it.
just never sort of
Younger.
explored it more
Fleshed
because
it
you know
out.
I didn't get because I was in New York finishing up the last season of the show. I wasn't able to do sort of the pre-game where we were figuring out our characters and probably figuring more of that stuff out. So we just kind of have
We're like, "This
written
looks good."
stuff to
Yeah.
each other. This works, but I mean I think that traveling circus was a fairly small group, at least the cast of characters that we met.
Yeah.
And I think
We met a good 7, 8.
Molly is a
I feel
very
like.
charismatic guy.
At
So
least.
it's
And
The
you
Knot
came in
sisters,
I mean, like, and you kind of not
fire
to give anything
breather.
away, but like your introduction to the circus definitely like triggered some stuff in his head of like, oh, okay, I think I know what to. Yeah, it was very
I
much
know what
the.
to do with this person.
This makes sense to me. I can handle this.
I feel
I
like
still
if
feel like
of
Gustav
anybody
is going to make an
Yasha
appearance,
feels
especially since we found out
safe
he's the
with
one
him.
that found Molly.
because he's one of those people that he is very charismatic, but I think he's sort of he doesn't judge her or pass any judgments on her. He's sort of accepted her for who she is, and he's like, I don't really need to know everything, but I accept you kind of as
and
you
that's
are.
who
and
he is. So
she does the
makes
same
sense.
with him, and that's sort of their special bond of like, I got your back.
Yeah.
I don't care what you did. I don't care what you're gonna do. I just like you as a person,
We're
and
right
I'm here
here.
for you.
We're right now. Everything
Yeah.
else doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool friendship.
yeah, it is.
Cool foundation
Figure
for
it out.
one.
Power in friendship.
The more you know.
It's magic.
Taliesin Zoondox wants to know, Molly seemed a bit surly and standoffish since the war began.
I was having a rough time. All right. No. Okay. Yeah. All right. Carry on.
Is it just the threat of conscription, or is something else going on with him?
He's used to moving, and one of the things that the circus made abundantly clear is the longer you stay somewhere, the more likely it is that they're going to decide that they're having a problem, and that problem is you.
Oh, wow.
And just looking the way
feel
we
like sometimes it
do
takes a
and
lot
acting
longer
the
for
way
the
we
question
do,
to pop up.
it's and especially once the war
I
kicked
wanted
in,
to
it's
see the
like,
guy's
okay,
name who asked the question.
no one wants zany, kooky friends in their city during it. This is when they start rounding us up and figuring out what the fuck to do with us. They're like,
Sell you for cannonballs.
they're going to start looking for spies. We're new in town. They're going to start looking for conscription. We're obviously powerful. We are our
target.
cute ability to fly under the radar is over.
Yeah.
Let's just not be here.
Yeah.
This is not.
But
a
I feel like a
problem.
lot
you
more
want
of it
them
has
at the
to do with
bullseye.
him not wanting his
and
past
especially
to
we're
ride
really we're loud-looking people, even as loud as Molly, but like it's. Matt really kind of is stressed when we were going into this game is that this is not a nice place. This is not a place where niceness is rewarded.
My
these
thing
cities
is,
are
we
not-
just got
are
done
not-
saying how Molly doesn't give a
are
shit,
not
goes with the
instantly
flow.
friendly,
I
and
don't
it's
care.
definitely a
Now
place
is
where
now.
He's very cold
Yet
and can
he
be
was
very harsh, and so it's just.
saying what he's saying now.
Yeah,
I got to
not
get out of here.
tempting
We
fate
got
in
too
that
much
direction.
attention.
It's just,
What happened to
it's
the I don't
very-
give a shit
It's already
attitude?
been his experience to just move.
It's about his
move,
past.
move.
Interesting.
I feel like it's way more about his past.
He wears out
If
his
you
welcome fast.
give a shit about something, it's
No,
because
it's
you're worried
Very
about
well
yourself,
aware,
usually.
Like, you know, it's very much these.
I mean,
the
don't
circus
get me
freaks are
wrong,
great
I mean, I
for about
think he
3 weeks, and
cares.
then you're like, when are they leaving?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
That's how.
I mean, what he's
My
saying
in-laws
isn't
feel
wrong.
whenever
I
I
just
stay
feel
at
like
their
it
house.
contradicts his I don't give a shit attitude, which means, to me, he's protecting
blocked
himself,
me.
which isn't wrong either. I would
Not
do
my
the same
in-laws'
thing.
Facebook. They blocked
I'm just
me.
analyzing.
Actually, Venla Flaxine wants to know.
Venla Flaxine.
Ask your doctor before using Venlaflaxine.
That
Liam has
definitely
said that
sounds
Caleb
like
feels
something
a bit
like
of
that.
kinship
We
to
didn't get the
Yasha.
last
What
question,
does Yasha
oddly.
think about Caleb, and how did she feel about suddenly having someone speak Celestial to her? We asked Liam about this when he was on the show
Oh, you
last.
did? Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah,
Now we get the
I
other side.
Think, I didn't know Liam. I forgot that he said that. I do watch talks. As I've told you, I think.
Don't-
No, listen. As I've told you, I think I've only missed 2 episodes,
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
3.
Brian's
Anyway.
like,
You're the viewer.
you don't
Alright.
even
I'm the
watch
viewer.
your
She's
husband's
the
show.
person watching. Yeah.
I
Are
do
you
a
actually-
show on your
wish.
show,
I knew I was in
and
love
you
with this
can't even
girl.
watch it. That's what he's thinking. But she said she missed
You're
2.
my beloved R Squeak.
You're my beloved R. Squeef.
Cat's out of the bag.
At least the 4th or 5th time, I've heard R. Squeef come up. R.
the
Squeef.
queef is out of the arse.
The queef is out of the arse.
So.
Yasha and Caleb.
Oh yeah. I was definitely. I think Yasha was curious about Caleb because it's still waters run deep with him. I mean, you can tell that there's a lot going on, and I think she can pick up on. Again, without giving anything away, I think they both can sort of.
She is so careful
before knowing
not
his
to
backstory.
spoil after that last time.
I know this, obviously, me as a player could pick up on this, which it's hard to not be, put that into the character that you're playing.
Yeah.
Could pick up on sort of the sadness and that there was something deep and heavy in his past. And Yasha can definitely relate. And I think there was this sort of unspoken little thing that was going on of a recognition of that. And I didn't know that Caleb could speak Celestial.
Interesting.
So that was a fun little thing that popped up in the game where I was like, oh, we can talk about
Definitely
this.
was cool.
Yeah.
It was random how it came
Yeah,
up.
that was
but
cool. I'm excited
a
to see if
lot
that
is random in this.
maybe if that pops up again or but I think Yasha feels a little bit closer to him now than she did. Where it's
I mean, you would, of course.
That's
I
pretty
feel
cool.
like.
Yeah. Just be careful about lighting fires around him.
yes.
It's a little sensitive.
Yes.
Trent's gonna be so
Too
disappointed.
soon. Too soon,
Yeah,
Brian.
Sorry.
No, it's not.
Trent's
It's not
gonna-
too
Trent's
soon.
gonna have you
The guy
sleeping on the
friggin'
couch
burned
tonight.
his family alive. I know.
For both of you, for
It
Mr.
was- it
Mr.
was-
Crap,
We won't get into it.
how come neither
come?
Molly nor Yasha told Ford about the old orc in the
Yeah,
cabin?
that's a good one.
Didn't seem pertinent.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Yeah.
I still wish we
wouldn't
would have
be
explored
prudent.
that cabin a little more.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't.
I don't know why we didn't either because we walked away and I was like, wait, why didn't we?
Why don't we just?
Why?
Why
That
don't we
was
do
my
something
thing.
about it?
You guys
Yeah,
saw
I
my
wondered if
rant.
that was gonna be one of those
Why
things we
wouldn't
talked
you
about last
think
week on the show
if
when
I
I
saw
got-
somebody
Yes.
that
I
looked
got
like
distracted
Molly or
by a shiny
Yasha
object,
in
and
a
it was
hut,
like,
I'd be
oh,
like,
this farm is
yo,
interesting. I'm like, okay, I feel like I've gained something from this transaction. I'm out of here.
you might want to go check
Yeah.
that
It's
out.
Like,
Yeah.
why was it?
Just
I think I
'cause.
rolled like a really low perception for him being shifty, so it was
Yes,
just like,
I think you did.
well, that's fine.
We were like, well, let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a weird orc in the forest selling armor.
Yeah. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
cool about
I
it?
just
don't
felt
know what
like
it
the
Yeah,
fact
that
he's
was
a
important.
orc
Eating people
and
or
we're in
something.
this
Yeah.
world where
There's
things
probably a lot
come
of other
across
shit.
There's
us all
probably
the
somebody,
time.
like, tied up in the
Might
corner
be
that
something you
I'm
want to
not
tell
That
your
was last
friend.
week, but I can't remember. Didn't he say there was other shit in
We
there?
didn't even get his name.
He wouldn't reveal what it
And
was.
you
we go
guys
back.
know in the
Oh
live
my
streams
God.
I talk
You should
about how
go
big
back.
We go
names
back
are.
down
Well,
that
we're
road,
actually
it's
gonna have to go
possible.
back down that road
billion
anyway.
gold is
Yeah.
in there. You guys should go back this week.
I
8
bet you
billion gold.
somebody's in there that he has is being held captive or something.
He's got a gimp, his own gimp.
He's got a gimp.
Someone's in there he's holding
Captive.
captive. I didn't think that. I think some way Ford is going to, not that he knows the guy, but I think in some way it's going to connect to Ford
We bought. I was
somehow.
hoping it was like some weird jerky as opposed to just standard jerky. Because we bought the jerky from him, and we identified the animal it was from, which was really disappointing to me.
Story about some weird jerky on After Dark last week. Oh yeah, let's revisit that, crew.
I haven't seen
Tell us
last
in
week's yet.
PGT
We're going to watch it at the end of the
wants
month.
to know,
I'm
of all
curious
your
now.
roommates, Ford and Molly have had the least in-room interactions. What do you imagine they talk about?
I don't think I'm of the opinion that they don't talk.
They just bone.
Just straight up.
They don't
No,
talk,
I
they
think
just
maybe they talk
bang.
a little bit about how idiotic the rest of the group is. And wow, that really broke Danny. That's great.
That's because that's all the shit she looks up on Tumblr. Danny lives
hip.
on the dirty Tumblrs.
Which I'm new to that.
Are you new to Tumblr?
The dirty Tumblr.
Dirty Tumblr?
Dirty Tumblr? I know
I'm new to dirty
Tumblr.
Tumblr. I'm new to Critical Role.
Dirty Tumblr.
Dirty Tumblr.
It is a thing. It is
It's
definitely a thing.
Hold me closer, dirty
not
Tumblr.
realize.
See, I've heard of Tumblr. Isn't,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
I
feel
think-
like
I
that's
think he
something else
appreciates
that
that
I
Ford
would
knows how to
not
share
usually
space.
use. Tumblr? I don't know.
Everybody else is like issues. He's very chill and yeah. If it weren't
I
him, it'd be,
definitely
like,
have never used it, but I
bunking
feel
in
like
your
that's
room,
one of the.
so-
Is that
You're
the,
also quiet, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to think if Tumblr is
Yeah.
the one where you
He likes them quiet.
Yeah.
find other gay people. Is that Tumblr?
Ashley Hadley to 40 wants to know, how does it feel to always have a character who is the center of a person's affections?
Oh, I'm thinking of Grinder. I'm thinking of Grinder.
I mean, I don't think that certainly was not the plan. And also, I think that's not all true. Everybody's sort of someone's center of affection in the show. We had, Keyleth and Vax and Percy and Vex and Pike and Scanlan. I don't know. It's definitely not planned, but it's funny that, that pops up.
You make crushable characters apparently. That is definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Crushable
Because you're a
characters.
crushable ass broad.
Hadley
Well,
de Forty.
You crush.
Just
Crushing,
kidding. That's
crushing hearts and crushing,
farts.
Crushing hearts
Way to
and
ruin it.
crushing farts.
That's what I
I'm
do.
workshopping it. Crushing,
Yeah.
monsters.
Monsters.
Farts was better.
We got time for a couple more here. Taliesin,
They
words that
seem
rhyme
like
with
a great
orang
couple.
Wants to know.
Okay.
They
Do
seem
you
like they have
see
a lot of
Molly's
fun.
devil's
Most of these
tongue
people
as his
do.
own, or is it something that also came from Lucian?
Oh, it's his own. I mean, like it's actually. I mean, it's D&D. It comes from. It's not part of the weird. It's just something that I think it's something that he could already do. And he has a base knowledge of the world. It's not. He doesn't know a lot, but he definitely figured out that he can speak Infernal, and that if he like concentrates while speaking Infernal, it like genuinely irritates people to the point they start bleeding.
Yeah, the voice is so terrifying. I
love doing that
I
voice.
start
It's quite
bleeding at
fun.
home when you start doing it.
So
I
he
learned how to do
himself,
that as a teenager
it would
watching
be
that
expected,
Caliber
but he
movie.
himself doesn't know his
I would say the
limits
charm of
or his
making.
capabilities.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was just.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
I'm trying to remember the whole charm of making. It's a good movie.
It's a parcel.
Another good movie.
Parcel tongue.
Yeah. It's all the top of the tongue against the throat.
Honestly, Ashley
Yeah.
sounds like him, but she's not speaking words. I feel like she's just.
We've just all been cursed by the
Hacking.
Lord of the Underworld in parcel tongue.
I think I said who ate all the crackling oat bran in one of the episodes with that voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I say weird shit on it.
That's
You do.
amazing.
Every once in a while, I'll catch what you said. I'm like,
Are there any
I
Cheetos?
feel like I might have heard
It's
that.
also
I
my
feel
shitty
like
way
I
of
might
getting
have heard
around, like,
crackling
having
oat
Sam
bran.
and come up with funny things to say to like try and diss people just because I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
And there's more than one way to use, to mock people in this
Yeah.
game, and you can. This
Vicious
is
mockery.
Vicious mockery can take a lot of forms.
All right, well, we have time for, let's see, two more.
Two more.
This one's for Ashley from Big Sexy Alpha Male.
Oh my.
Big
He's
sexy
actually a
alpha
guy who has an
male.
alpha subscription.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
means. Yeah.
Big fan of Alpha.
Yeah.
Where are you getting
That
the inspiration
probably-
for these?
I mean,
gory,
that
how do you wanna
actually
do
could be the
these-
thing.
How do you want to do this finishes?
How do you want to do these?
How do you want to do these? How do you want to do these?
How do you want to do these?
That would be a great hoodie too. How do you want to do this finishes? Do you enjoy getting to take the wheel of such cinematic kills after last campaign?
I mean, it's so fun.
So metal.
I think Pike had, I don't know, maybe a handful of how do you want to do this.
Yeah.
How do
That
you
was
wanna
one
do
of the
these?
arts that won.
Duties.
Either last
in
week or the
the
week before,
whole
where she
entire
pulled the
campaign,
guy
which is,
down
you
on
know,
the
was
sword. Cool looking
a
art. Somebody
Cleric,
made.
and also, you know, she was a tank, but not necessarily
Finishing dudes off.
I don't know. It's just so fun to be able to play the beast mode.
Yeah.
You know, just
Running.
popping in and just
She was
running in
either
with
curing
Labenda,
or
but,
helping or assisting
I don't
or
know, the gory
tanking.
stuff.
She wasn't running in killing dudes.
That is the fun part of the game to me. I think I've always just sat on like
That's my thing.
every time someone would go to kill someone. Of course, we probably all think
We've
of
talked
ways of how we would
in
kill
depth.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't.
I
Maybe
have
just
friends
do.
that love being
Definitely
mages.
saying
like,
yes now.
And I was
Definitely
like,
saying yes.
I just want to go up and slice
Yeah.
you and punch you and beat you physically.
I think it's just really fun to think of, you know, brutal ways to do it. And I also think that sort of gives you a little glimpse into, because Yasha's kind of
I
quiet.
feel like we're.
but you see
You
these
said one more
moments
left.
of
After this, one more question. I was gonna say, I feel like we're
Just-
hitting the hour.
quick violence.
Yeah.
Where you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's not so. That's not so
think
great.
of that Sanrio character every time you do that. The panda,
Sanrio.
Wiki Picky or
the new one where they made the new animated series about where she's an office worker and then at night she goes and does like metal karaoke.
what?
What?
Really?
I don't know what this
Sanrio?
is, and it sounds great.
It's
Sounds
amazing.
amazing.
I
What?
don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember
show?
the name. It'll come to me. It's she's a red panda. And
Chad will find
my
it for
God.
us.
I'll find
even
it.
though we're
Oh
not.
yeah,
Yeah,
it won't be a
I've
problem.
I've never heard of
Pull
such a
it up on
thing.
YouTube.
Sounds
Well,
interesting.
We're out of time,
oh,
so we're gonna
that was the
end
last.
on this question
Oh,
from
okay.
Waffle Slop.
He always looks so sad when we have to
Within
finish.
hours of meeting Kiri, the Mighty Nein gave her a knife, introduced her to alcohol and porn, and took her to a seedy motel flooded with stagnant swamp water. Do you have any advice for them on how to better foster a chick? My answer is no, I do not.
First off, Kiri would be
Fine.
dead.
Sounds about right.
If we didn't help her, she'd be dead. And if we didn't bring her
That's
with
how-
us, she'd be dead.
That's how it went the night Ashley.
That's
and I
my
met.
answer.
Like that
I
is
don't
what
care
we
if
did.
we've
you
introduced
guys are
alcohol, porn,
just
seedy
lovers.
I'll learn it
motels.
somewhere.
Yeah.
She's
That's true.
alive.
She's gonna. I mean, she's now an orphan, so she's got to grow up.
Yeah,
fast.
she's got to grow up
Literally, her
fast.
life has improved tenfold since meeting us because
For
she
sure.
was stuck in the swamp. About
Boom.
to be
Tal'dorei,
And
the
now
man.
Just take a moment.
Your life has improved
for
tenfold. You'd
the
be dead
awesome
twice over.
bar in Barrel Bend that
I
we
wanna
are
go
now.
there.
I think
I
this
want
is
to go to
great
there.
to introduce a child
I-
to.
Treehouse Bar.
It
Treehouse
makes me think
bar.
of like the Popeye movie. Like it's a bar in like the Popeye
Robin
movie.
Williams
Yes,
one?
yes, the
Yeah,
Robin
yeah.
Williams Popeye.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true.
That's
Just
the best.
Treehouse bar
Yeah.
Treehouse
made of
bar.
rotting things.
Yeah.
Yep. Treehouse bar made of rotting things.
Basement hotel.
Yeah. Well,
Flooded basement hotel.
Brian?
flooded basement hotel.
Oh yeah, this is an inch
Yeah.
of water in every room, in half the rooms.
Yeah, there is
Your
an inch of
flooded basement
water.
hotel or mine? Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Stick around for beef jerky after dark. I would like to
I am very
hashtag
curious what
thank
happened
my
on the
guests,
After Dark.
courtesy this week of @Kilroy1059.
Bring it.
Tapestries chafing,
Nice.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Tapestries
So good.
chafing.
naturally blocks sun
Oh.
because she's big, you know. And I'm your host, liking my posture.
I dig that one. Like a lichen. A werewolf, a lichen my pod. I dig that one because I also
Get a
like
heart.
lichens. I like
I will at
werewolves.
the end of the show.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
Critical Role
biased.
Campaign 2, episode
like that one.
21.
Liken my
airs
posture.
This week. It's 21
job,
Jump
Brian.
Street. Until then, don't forget to love each other and don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Take me out on the hearts, Chief. Stay Trent, my friends.
Stay Trent, my friends.
Stay Trent.
Stay Trent, my friends.
Trent.
There we go. Yeah.
Get
They
in
love
there.
me
Yeah,
and
that
ale.
get in
They love
there.
Me and ale, and I love ale.
Me and Ale, like he's in love with Ale.
you.
That's good. I enjoy that at the end. They are so amazingly comical together, and I've said it before many times how they all know each other so well it all works. At the end there, they were trying to put Brian and Talzin in a heart together, I'm assuming, but then Brian went in, did his magic. I think it's hilarious how obviously it's got to be intentional, because Brian can't be that silly to just on camera sulk every time the episode ends. But if you go back and watch, every time we get to the final two or the final question, he looks so sad. I don't know, maybe he can't contain himself because he's sad that it's ending, but they're going into alpha talk after hours. So I have to assume that he is just sulking because it's the last question and he's putting on an act, so to speak, but it genuinely looks real. It looks like he's genuinely upset that the show is ending, almost like a kid. I see it all the time at the arcade. Kids have to like stop playing their games. They run out of quarters and they immediately just sulk or hysterically cry because it's all over and they know they got to go and they're out of quarters. That's how I feel he looks. And even after Talzin and Ashley gave their answers, which was awesome, we're talking about the floating swamp bar that's on top of another bar, rope ladders to get inside. Brian takes their answers and is just like, yeah, swamp bar, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's almost like he's sulking and angry that it's over and he just has no rebuttal for them. He's just like repeats what they say and then stares them down. I don't know if it's intentional or what. I'm assuming it is. Either way, it works beautifully. At the end there, now I'm assuming people just ask questions, want to see their opinion. That's the point of questions. But some people ask questions because they're unsure, or it's a question like, hey, could you answer this for me because I'm confused? And I feel like that was a silly question, unless it was just to bring to the surface that we've shown a child porn and alcohol and CD bars and stuff like that, motels. We saved its life. It was literally sinking in the bog, about to get eaten by gators, and then we could have left her there. We saved her 3 times over, because first, Kiri was going to drown in the swamp, then was going to get eaten by gators, then we could have just been like, sorry kid, we're not taking you with us. We did the responsible thing. Granted, we're going to all these places, but that's who we are. And it's better than killing the child. Besides that, the whole relationship with Molly and Yasha, I said at the beginning how I was under the impression they knew a great deal of each other's backstories, and they talked about that, how they do still have secrets, but they know the majority. Molly went deep into the whole Gustav thing, why he does the things he does, why he throws money around, how he views everything. But then I feel like it was kind of contradicted by the fact that he's like, we got a reputation now, we got to get the hell out of Dodge. But he made it sound like it wasn't because he was afraid of running into more things with his backstory. He made it sound like it was more so for the group. And I feel like that makes sense. But Molly's character, I feel like he just wouldn't give a shit. I feel like he'd just be like, whatever, bring it on kind of thing. So the fact that he cares, I feel like it has more to do with his backstory that he's letting on. Besides that, we'll do After Hours, like I said, 4 episodes in one at the end of each month. I'm jumping into Campaign 2, Episode 21. I don't know what it's called yet. I'm going to look at the title and then base it on what I wear. I look at the titles and I think of who it could be related to most of all the people, because I got shirts for everybody at this point. So you guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. That's where you get the hour-long Patreon exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2 and dozens of other shows. Person of Interest, Doctor Who. We started Eureka, Battlestar, Stargate, so many things. Check it out. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.